Hey there, friend. You are watching, maybe listening to, the Erin Chase Show, where we chat all things intentional living and how to find that ever elusive balance in our busy and overwhelming lives. I am your host, and I am live here on Facebook. You might be catching this replay on YouTube or on the podcast players. And I'm just going to quickly check to make sure that the audio is working. I did a whole live video last week and there was zero audio. So yep, we're good. Okay, so let's jump in. Fastest freezer meals, the whole theme of this month here on my Dinner Made Easy shows and the Erin Chase shows throughout the month of August is getting yourselves set up and ready for back to school season. My boys are back in school. I know this is going to be an especially challenging year given the continued uncertainties. At my school, 2 of my 4 kids have already had sort of that like close contact alert. Of course, we're watching closely for illness and all of that. There's just I'm waiting for the moment. I'm sure it's going to happen. Not necessarily illness, but the need to quarantine, things like that. So anyways, it's just wild. And so I want to help set you up for success. Now, beyond, everybody is, focused on the uncertainties, and there's a lot of them these days, obviously. But even beyond that, in just sort of a regular day-to-day, like you get stuck at the pediatrician's office because you need a strep throat test, or your tire pops and you got to go sit at the tire shop. There's just those moments in life that you don't expect to happen. Those fun surprises, sometimes dramatic, sometimes big crises. I think I've told this story before. In December of 2019, so kind of right before pandemic season, if you will, our house flooded, and while we were sleeping in the middle of the night, and we had to move out immediately. And we temporarily moved into my mom's house, then into a hotel, and then into a rental home. And even in the middle of all that, I was still slow cooking freezer meals. Okay. So even in the big crises, okay, it was still happening because it was what I knew, because it was comfortable, and because it was not more takeout. Because in a big crisis like that, it's drive-through, takeout, people will gift you a meal, things like that. I was over it. I needed to eat our favorite meals, and the easiest favorite meals are coming out of the freezer, and they are, in that case, I remember this. I took my slow cooker to my mom's house so I could cook these meals because I just wanted that sort of comfort. So regardless of the situation, all that to say, we just don't know when we're going to need help with cooking because of something else that's happening in our life, right? Whether it's a big dramatic thing or just a simple thing of like, I got stuck in the pediatrician's office because we had to go get a strep test or whatever it is. And I think that one of the reasons that I teach so much and I preach so much about make ahead meals, they're just that useful. They're so useful that I have put together 6 different books. We also have an entire online program with web apps and mobile apps and things like that to help you with that. And I'm just going to show you 2 of these, the 2 that I mentioned here in the video. Sorry. I know I do a lot of cooking at home, and I actually cooked yesterday. I'm going to be cooking again on Thursday, but I wanted to share this with you from the office today. 15-minute freezer meals is our newest. Our other, both of these books were out here in 2022. What year are we? 2021. Oh my word. Yeah, can we fast forward? I'd love to fast forward. Anybody else want to fast forward with me? 5 ingredient freezer meals we brought to you in March, and then just this month we are bringing to you 15-minute freezer meals. And both of these really and truly are the fastest. You guys, I've tried freezer cooking 87 different ways. I mean, maybe not 87, but a lot of different ways. And by far, these are the fastest. Now, I love to do more pre-cooking. I love to do different types of maybe like a pasta bake or something like that. I do like to make those meals, but these are my go-tos for fast and easy and hands off. And I'm going to explain to you what a 15-minute freezer meal is, and kind of how it works and how we recommend doing this. Freezer cooking is not making 40 meals at one time and never wanting to step foot in your kitchen again. I am not about that. I don't have time for that. You don't have time for that. Maybe you do. Or maybe you have an event coming up in your life where you want to put together maybe 20 or 30 meals for your freezer. I would do that before I would have a baby. My baby is now 8.5, but whatever. So I don't do as many of those big bulk ones, but I absolutely will make 10 to 12 meals at a time, even really on a monthly basis. And the reason that I like these 5 ingredients and these 15-minute ones is because they're just so fast to put together, either because they have very few ingredients, or in the case of 15 minutes, you are letting the oven, the skillet, the slow cooker, the Instant Pot kind of do the cooking for you. So it's literally put it into, the pot or the appliance and then walk away and let it cook for you. So that's what a 15-minute freezer meal is. So let me define that a little bit even further. 15-minute freezer meals is about 5 minutes to prep the meal to put it into the freezer, a couple of minutes, 1 or 2 minutes to get it thawed and prepared for the appliance or however you're cooking it. Now that's, a minute to get it thawing in a bowl of water, or a minute to put it into the fridge, a minute to pull out of the fridge. This is hands-on time. Now collectively this might happen, last night to this morning, but ultimately it's very little hands-on time to thaw it and get it ready to cook. And then of course, a couple minutes after it's cooked to get it, ready for the table. Let me share an example. So this morning, I started the slow cooker because I have a meeting tonight and I knew I would need a slow cooker meal because I couldn't be home in the afternoon when I maybe would cook like, a fresh, skillet with spaghetti sauce or something like that. So I had taken a meal. I had frozen this meal previously. It's beef roast, onions, some seasoning, and Brussels sprouts. We like Brussels sprouts. Omit the Brussels sprouts if you just want a plain old pot roast meal, okay? I froze that in a batch of 10 meals at one time. I always make 10, maybe 12 meals at a time. So that's been in my freezer, and it's perfect for today. So this morning, after my kids went to school, I was home and I just put it into a bowl of water for about 5 minutes, just let it sit in the sink, in its container, in its bowl or bag, in a bowl of water. And then once it had thawed for a couple minutes, I could separate the beef roast from the bag with the other ingredients. I put it right into the slow cooker and, tossed the bag and pushed 8 hours on the slow cooker. And now when I get home, all I probably need to do is, either warm up some rolls, or I might start some rice in the Instant Pot or something super quick side dish to go with the beef and the veggies that are slow cooking the day away for me. So that's kind of an example of actually today's meal is a 15-minute freezer meal. Kind of on accident. I did not plan that for today, but that's just how the menu worked out. That's how the schedule worked out. And that's how and that's why I need that fast meal today, is because of this meeting that I have this afternoon. So it really is amazing to have these meals on backup to fit when you need them for whether it's your schedule or one of these sort of who knows what's going to happen in your day life crises that I described and outlined earlier. So I highly recommend the books. We have 6 in our series. If you type in 15, just like the numeral 15 in the comments, I will message you information on this. And in our cookbooks, there are plans in the back. We also email them to you. I know that's not in focus, I'm sorry. With the recipes for how to do 10 meals at a time. So if you want to do 10 meals at a time, I'm going to give you the shopping lists. I'm going to give you the instructions for over here, the ingredient prep, and over here is putting the meals together. And really, you should be able to put together 10 meals like this in less than an hour, especially these faster ones, these 5 ingredient ones or these 15-minute ones. I strategically picked recipes that are super, super, super fast to put together. These are a great starting place for if you've never done freezer cooking. I've obviously shared with you kind of an overview of how that works. These are fabulous. I have tips and hacks in here, kind of how to make this work for you. So yeah, really great options. These cookbooks are available on Amazon. So if you're an Amazon Prime person, you could order those and have it delivered to you quickly. We also sell them in our store. The advantage to getting them from our store is that we will also email you the digital copies of these PDFs that are in the back. And then we also have some other kind of label options and other gadgets and tools and accessories that help make getting these meals put together super fast and easy. So this is a great option. If you're watching this replay or you are listening on a podcast player, putting 1.5 in the comments will not work. So just click on the link that's in the description to learn more about both of these two cookbooks that are fast. But we also have real food, we have dump dinners, we have Instant Pot and slow cookers. So there's 6 different cookbooks in the series that are going to really help you getting sort of dinner on the table when you either know you need it, like I do today, or for the days where you just did not plan for your afternoon to get derailed by whatever thing is derailing your afternoon. Another way that I like to say and suggest using freezer meals, this is going to sound funny, it's when you know you don't want to cook. And I know there are lots of people who just don't want to ever cook. And unfortunately, that's going to get real expensive real fast, especially if you have a family or you're a growing family, right? So you definitely want to have these meals don't feel like cooking is what I'm trying to say. This type of meal, you get a delicious, amazing, nutritious, tasty meal for the table, but it doesn't feel like you're cooking. I've heard that feedback from people, from our different members and people who've bought our books over the years so many times. I love these because it doesn't feel like I'm cooking. I love to cook. I love it, but I'm also real busy. And I like to be able to have a nice meal, but it doesn't require a lot of effort and a lot of thought. And that's exactly what these meals are right here. So if you guys are watching live or you're watching this replay on Facebook, my friend Jennifer and Sherry and Stephanie and Donna, you guys, I'll message you information. You can add it into the comments 15, the number, just 15. And I'll send you information about the cookbooks. And then, of course, if you're catching the replay, look for links in the description or in the show notes for where to get more information about these. I would love to help equip you and make dinner easier. I am literally living this all the time, day to day. I would love to help you with that. So with every episode of the Erin Chase Show, I like to include my PIE acronym. So PIE is sort of my, acronym formula recipe, because it is PIE, for intentional living. And the acronym is P, plan, I, implement, E, evaluate. So when it comes to freezer meals, you're going to want to plan your attack. I'm doing that for you in the back of the book. I've got it all planned out for you right here. Okay, so this is your plan. Implement is going to be put together, 6, 8, 10, 12, however many meals you want to do at one time. It's only going to take you about an hour to do that. And then evaluate what went well, what should I try differently, what recipe did we not like. They're out there. So that is evaluate. So plan, implement, evaluate. Plan to get yourself set up for success with these make-ahead freezer meals. Implement it by getting the meals put together. Make it fun. Have everybody help you. I've got my younger kids will help with opening cans. My older kids will help with chopping things. Like, it's a team effort when we do prep session like this. And when we all do it together, it can take like 30 minutes. I give you all the steps in the order that you need to do these things so that you can be sort of the most efficient. And then evaluate what went well in your freezer prep, what types of meals worked really well for your family. What could you try differently next time? Things like that. So that's PIE. And my whole goal with this show here in teaching and helping you kind of see how this all fits into your life is to help you live more intentionally, help you reach other goals that you might have, help you figure out how do I do dinner when I'm already stretched too thin, or I'm maxed out, or I'm tired of grieving all the things, the pandemic. I try not to talk too much about that, but we're still living in this, and it's still hard, and it's still exhausting. So this is how you can set yourself up when you get that little burst of motivation. Maybe it's right now after listening here with me today. You're just, okay, I'm going to get in there and I'm going to finally do this. I know it needs to happen because I know it's going to help me. I promise it will help you. So that's what I want to help you do, is just be more intentional, specifically with dinner. We also have a number of other episodes you can check out either on our YouTube channel, here on Facebook under the videos tab, and of course on the different podcast players. You can go back and listen to old episodes as well. We talk about all things intentional living, prioritizing goals, home, laundry, all kinds of different things. But this month it's all about make ahead meals, both freezer meals, but also dinner. And next week we're going to talk a little bit more about kind of breakfast and snacks and how to tackle all of that. So that's all I got for you for this week's episode of the Erin Chase Show. Please subscribe, whether you're listening to the replays in the podcast or on YouTube. You can subscribe on YouTube. You can also subscribe to get live notifications here when we go live. Typically here on $5 Dinners Facebook page, we're live on Tuesdays with the Erin Chase Show, and on Thursdays with Cooking live cooking with the Dinner Made Easy Show. We never know what's going to go wrong when you cook live. There's a reason that food shows are all shot and edited. Ask me how I know. No, we love it. I love cooking live. I love teaching you, and I want to help you out with that. So you can tune into the Erin Chase Show. This week it'll be in the morning, but typically it is Thursday afternoon. So that is what I've got for you this week, my friends. It's bye for now, and we'll talk again soon.